Hello and welcome to the part 126 of the Game Engine Coding live stream. Still on button groups. We're on part 57 of the overall menu system, overall GUI, and we're doing menu system and the button group as well. So I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to go and get myself a yogurt and then we shall continue. I am back. Xavier00 says hi. Hello, Xavier000. Get the laptop open so I can actually see comments. And here we go. Oh yeah, enter key was not working. I doubt that would fix the enter key problem. Let me see if it would. Yeah, enter keys aren't working. Ooh. Let me literally just collapse this. What do that? What does that actually end up? To comment at everything or just not everything? It's annoying, that is. I think that's the one. Okay, so that works. There's obviously something in here that's messing it up. Can't remember what it is. Let's have a look. Let's try one by one. Adding and removing states. So let's just do it. So we got the not interacting state, which frankly should be the one that you will be, for the most part, getting triggered. And I think it'll be this here. Probably VC142 error or some BS like that. I doubt that is, but let's check it out. Let's just run it again. Okay, so that works. So something in here. Slowly break this down. This. What happens if we never reset? Or if we just do it there instead? See how this works. Make sure it's still working the way it should be first, and then we can test the rest of it out. Okay, mouse. Now let's. And that don't seem too bad. Yes, that seems alright. I think that has for the most part fixed the issue. Ability to set multiple enter trigger keys. So you have multiple trigger keys. Okay, so currently what I have is it's in the poll input, and that's the trigger. Really, what we want to do is have a vector of mouse buttons, and it's going to be called valid trigger. No, this is, we're gonna have mouse keys actually. Keyboard key, valid trigger keys, and we'll say by default hash define default underscore button underscore group underscore keyboard trigger key, keyboard underscore trigger underscore key is equal to keyboard key let's enter. Do they have return? No, let's enter. Okay, so that's fine. Enter. So we're gonna say underscore valid trigger keys dot push back. Put this here. And now instead of this, for auto key colon underscore valid trigger keys for every key, if the key is equal to event dot key dot code, then we would do this. Okay, so that should hopefully work. Obviously just with enter at the moment, and I'll add some more. I'll need some methods to be able to add them as well momentarily. Hi there from Algeria. Ooh, hello, hello, Dawood Brahim. My maths teacher at college was Algerian. Remember, probably yes, but he used to always talk about how he could have been in the Algerian football team, but he chose to be a maths teacher. Although I remember saying a few times, a bit mean, but how did that work out for you? He used to get pissed. He's like, he was an angry man anyway. He would legit threaten to throw the pen at you, or be like, you would be like, you would get the pen, you know, like a whiteboard pen. But you just think about this. I've got a whiteboard here, so I'll get this. You get the pen, and he'd be like, if somebody said something, it was semi-pissed him out, like, or if you got he asked you a question and you got it wrong, go, do you want to die? He's like, do you? Oh my god. Some of the people in this world are just insane. Ooh, that's kind of a bug. Does this go to bug? If you're hovering over the button and you press a trigger key like the enter in this case, don't work. So this is a hover state. That's interesting. Actually, Algerians are like that. Fair enough. Yeah, we got to understand that he was like that, so obviously nobody took offense by it. But I remember, so second year rolled round, everyone in the class obviously knew him. A student transferred from a different college down the road to this college. He had just got kicked out 'cause he wasn't attending. He was a higher end college that he was going to. Wasn't attending. He came to our college, and because he was in second year, he did fine in maths. He just went straight to obviously second year, A levels in college, and he was in one of the classes was maths. He was in there. I remember, we became friends, but he was sitting next to me, and he asked him a question. His name was Jaden, and he got it wrong. And the teacher laughed off. That was the Algerian teacher's name. It's like, "Do you want to die?" And Jaden was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "Don't worry." He says it to everyone if you get it wrong. Okay, so in which college you studied? It was a UK college. I mean, so obviously you might be thinking of college as in how it's in America. I'm talking about college in UK. University is like college in America. So college would be the age of 16 to 18 typically, which will probably be the end of high school in America. So it's not like some, if I said it, you wouldn't know it. It was Stourbridge College, but you wouldn't know it because it's not unless he happened to be local. But like it's not a university. You generally don't. People outside of the area don't really know colleges of the UK because, like I said, they're the equivalent of like the last couple of years of high school. It's a weird thing in a way. You do primary school from the age of 4 roughly to the age of 11. Then from age of 11 to 16 you do high school, and then from 16 to 18, so just 2 years, you do college, and then you do university. It's like an in between. It's like kind of prepping you that you can wear what you want. You won't be hassled as much by teachers to in terms of the work and that sort of stuff. A bit more freedom. I feel like some of that should be in the lower years, but it is what it is. So this is messing it up. So we do need it to reset. You know, fairness, that's fine. Look, in reality, these buttons are going to be intended for like menu systems to take you somewhere. Like, you know, as long as that works the other way, as long as if I'm hovering over there, that's calm, that is. Okay, so that's fixed that issue, which is good stuff. Let's just build it so it's saved as well. Ability to have multiple keys, trigger keys. Okay, so if I was to just push back another key, and yes, I have a friend of mine who's studying business in London, and he told me all about the system there. Yeah, so obviously, I don't know if he's studying at a university or a college, but if he's university, like you got multiple universities in London. Imperial is one of the best ones, one of the best ones in the country. And if he said Imperial University, people will know about that. They'll know about it outside the country even. Definitely, obviously, Oxford and Cambridge, and like stuff like Harvard and Stanford and MIT in America. But if you just say like a local high school in America or a local college in the UK, really the average person isn't going to know that. It's not going to mean anything. But yeah, you obviously get differences and nuances in different countries and their educational systems. It's all based on the Prussian education system. Worth checking out Johann Fichte, where he actually originates from. It's literally just a factory line system, which is very prison-like. It is literally implemented for conformity, or at least that's what it was. That's what everyone partakes in now. I'm not a big fan of it. Try K. So K and Enter should be valid keys at the moment. I'm trying keys that aren't these. Let's try K. That works. Try Enter. Yep, that works fine as well. Okay. So really, I just need to have methods for setting them and getting what are the valid trigger keys. Okay, so keyboard trigger keys that will trigger a button. Okay, so void add valid. You could always extend this to have like joystick and other stuff as well. For now, I'm just leaving it at this. Trigger key. Come back if I need it. No, don't want a const. I don't know why I'm adding a const. Looked above and that was stupid. Okay, so const keyboard key return type, no parameters, and no return type, that's the one. Add a valid keyboard key to trigger the buttons. Keyboard key. Okay, well, actually, I'm studying at ESI, High School of Computer Science, okay, in Algeria, and actually, I don't like it that much because we do lots of math and statistics and less computer technologies. Okay, so in general, I think again, I don't know if you're good at maths or what the situation is, but a lot of people underestimate how much maths is involved in computer science and the offshoots of computer science. Like, I did computer games programming at uni. Basically, computer science will focus on games. If you're doing web development, whatever it is, more maths, statistics helps as well, but especially, just hardcore pure maths. You might be like, oh, don't need integration or differentiation. Trust me, the skills you'll learn from there, you can apply, especially in game development, but in other areas as well. And I feel like maths, at least in these universities in this country, isn't taught as much as it should be in a lot of the subjects. I think because they know, but yes, some might risk doing too much of it and less computer technologies. I feel like partly that might be the lecturers themselves. I don't know how it's like in Algeria, but in this country, for anything below university, so college, high school, primary school, the exams and the syllabus, the curriculum that is done is set by a board. There's usually a few different exam boards, but it's set by a big board that's worth a lot of money. It's just all about money, and they have it very standardized across different schools, different colleges. So you would do the same maths exam in one college as you would do in another, assuming they're on the same exam board, and there's only a few major ones, and if they're not, it still be a pretty similar one. Whereas in any given year, for any given, let's say higher or lower paper, I think foundation papers, lower, higher is the harder papers for the higher marks. For university, on the other hand, in this country, it's not standardized. It's made internally, the exam papers, because I was a university lecturer 2016 to 2017. I made exam papers literally just on my own. Somebody verified them. Literally, the verification process was literally another lecturer who knew about, let's say, that module, and you would hope so, but he did. And he was just went through, just made sure the answers were correct to the question, and obviously had a quick look and was like, yeah, that's fine. And they was like, oh, just go to an external, examiner or something to be double checked. Literally, that's all it is. There's no proper. The thing is, the way I even got the job was very fluffy, and like literally, my lecturer was inquiring with me and a few other people about doing some guest lectures. And at the time, I had a few other work commitments, but something opened up. I basically got fired from my job, and I was like, I didn't tell him about that, but I was like, things have opened up. I can do a couple of guest lectures because they was going to pay me for that. I was like, it'll help supplement some income. And it was like, would you like to just come on full time for part time, kind of? And I was like, yeah, sure. Told me the hourly rate. I was like, yo, it's a good hourly rate as well. Literally no interview, no nothing. He's like, yeah, just coming on. I feel like he said, no, got fired on Tuesday, got hired on Wednesday, started on Friday. Yeah, literally within 2 days, literally 2 days later, I was a university lecturer teaching students. Like, there was no checks, no, like, nada. It was pretty insane, pretty surreal, to be fair. And about 2 months later, I was head of the module because the other teacher was leaving, and they needed someone. That was like, for this year, we'll just use you. You're just here, and they're like, yeah, you need to create some exam papers. So made some exam papers. Literally just get the last year's one, modify a few things. That was it. There really isn't this type of standardization that you get in lower years. I don't know what's like in Algeria. Might be the same, but if it's not, then if you get a teacher that is more maths and statistics oriented, and let's say you could blatantly see he's not a coder or not very good at it, or that's not where he wants to focus on, he'll put more maths and stats in it. And that's vice versa as well. If they're heavy on the computer science side and they're not a big fan of the math side, they'll put less maths in. You might think that's better, but you got to get the balance. Okay, get the valid keyboard trigger keys, returns the valid keyboard trigger keys. And we're going to have some more methods. Void remove key from valid keyboard trigger keys. We'll have a method to also just flush it all out as well. So once we've done these, doing the up and down ones should be a lot. You'll be for the most part copy and paste. Hopefully everyone's all good. Everyone's very quiet today. That's fine. I'll concentrate on work. But hopefully everyone's all good and had a good weekend. Weekend's almost up, but don't fret. Good times are always ahead. Okay, so remove a keyboard key from the list of valid. Concerning the exam, it's the same as you said. You can prepare the exam just by doing the previous ones. The problem that we don't have that much CS specialties. Put a question mark, so I don't like these. Are you trying to ask a question? I don't get the question. If you are, because it just seems more like a statement. If you're saying that there's not enough specialties, do I agree with that? I agree. So many specific stuff that aren't taught properly, like versioning, subversioning. Like we was taught SVN, and he was taught choice SVN, because I think that's the open source free one, or something like that. Oh, full stop, you mean? Okay. I was go on this rant, but really, you need at least a whole module for that stuff. You're doing the bash commands, bash commands around, doing some sort of versioning system, Git, subversioning, and showing the different tools available on different OSs. I think that's a lot of stuff that needs to be covered. Is also also stuff like CMake, pre-make, make, building tools, setting up IDEs. It's briefly covered in some institutions, but it's not really to the level that it should be. It's like a well-rounded computer science course should cover a decent amount of theory, which should be based on some mathematics and physics, and it should cover, obviously within the theory should be networking as well, stuff like that. It should also cover programming, so learning a couple of languages at least. You should cover using some popular frameworks on top of those languages, or at least on one of the languages. Maybe you can choose, say if you've been taught C++, and let's say you've been taught JavaScript, you can choose, let's say in your second year, that you want to focus more on C++ or the JavaScript, and then they'll have certain things set up. So you could do learn about certain frameworks in C++, and then once you've done that, they should cover certain building tools like CMake, pre-make, make that I was talking about, versioning tools as well, again in their own modules, obviously at the same time doing some of the other stuff. And I mean, like, I remember at my university, we had 4 modules in each year. The last year you could choose to scrap one of the modules and replace it with 2 smaller modules, both of which would finish by Christmas, so you'd only have 3 at the end, so it's heavy workload at the start but a lighter workload towards the end. I just chose 4. Those 15 credit was a smaller one that I actually wanted to do, but the other ones I didn't, so I was like, nah, I'm just gonna stick with 4 30 credit ones. and on top of that, 2 of them you have to do anyway. Okay, so first year we did C programming. That was 1 module. We did a game architecture and design. That was another module. In that we did Unreal. I know I switched to Unity now, but it was Unreal at the time. We did sort of like this web development design course, a module. I can't remember what that was called. Oh, the 4th one, like database architecture, design and implementation, something along those lines. Some BS thing to do with databases. Then in second year, we did C++ programming. We did advanced 3D graphics, or introduction to 3D graphics, something like that. And we did a database module. We did some other games one as well. Can't remember. And then finally, yeah, it was your computing project. We did basically another C++ one, where you work on a project in a group. Then the other 2 modules you chose, I chose mobile game development and advanced 3D graphics. And that's quite a bit of coding, but then there's some of those design courses were so weak. Like what they was doing, it was just weak. May I ask what the game is developer? Are you asking what we're actually making here? Because we're making a game engine, and it's all open source, and then we'll be making games on top of it. Originally just clones to test it, then eventually actual new IPs. Okay, so we're gonna have void remove all valid keyboard trigger keys const, that's it. No return, no parameters. Yep. Remove all the valid keyboard trigger keys. Do at your own risk without any the keyboard will not work on button groups. And let's implement all these now. That's pretty simple. Underscore valid dot empty underscore valid dot so to remove stuff from a vector specific item. Super big thanks. Warmest from California. Oh, hello Kai. You're welcome. You're welcome. What did I work on recently that we did removing? It was this sort of remove radio button. Okay, so that should be this. Want to go into the gaming environment, but I don't know where to start due to the lack of specialties here. So, first of all, just get good at programming. Honestly, C++ is a great start. Just get solid at that. That's like the first thing. Then look into some game framework and game engines built on top of the language that you're using. Let's say C++ in this case. I use SFML to build this. You could look at SDL, it's a bit more low level. You could look into Unreal. And the other ones out there, just Google C++ game engines, and you'll get a load. You get a huge list on the Googlies, and just go from there. Make your own projects, small. Doesn't matter if they're whack. So whack them on GitHub. That's what they're gonna want to see. Employers are. Again, doesn't matter if they're bad. You might think, oh, they're not GTA quality. Trust me, you're not making those games. You're making them with hundreds, thousands of other people. They just want to see that you're putting yourself out there, that you can do it. You can actually start something and finish it. That's a major thing, and the best way to show it is by showing it. If you can't show it, if you just be like, take my word for it, that ain't gonna wash. Let's go valid. I want to get into the... Oh, yeah, I've already read that one. Have him look into low code, no code startup path, then work backward to upskill his stack. That's not a bad idea either. Let me see what this is all more about. Should be here, I don't know why it was there. Okay, so with adding it, we don't want to add duplicates. It is not working. If we do this instead, that's what it should be. Give that a build, make sure that's working. If it is, then we can proceed. Okay, so that's fine. Add a valid trigger key. You can say for auto key underscore valid trigger keys if key equals if that equals the key, then we're gonna return. Because it's already in there. Otherwise we'll say underscore valid trigger keys dot push back key, like so. That adds a valid trigger key. There are a lot of details to learn. Always is. Are you a fan of football team? Of a football team? No, I don't support any real team. Don't watch football. Not a big sports fan, to be fair. As a kid, I used to support Man U, but that was mainly because my brother supported it. We used to play FIFA sometimes when I was a kid. mainly with friends or family. And if I did, probably choose Man U or Chelsea. Man U, Chelsea. For the international, be Brazil. Considering I don't like football enough, I know half decent amount about it. Those are the main teams I would have chosen. I'm guessing you're a fan of football, if that's what you're asking. Button group dot add valid keyboard key A Z and plus add AZ and add. Yeah, the next thing after done all the menu stuff and the GUI stuff, I support England national team when they face Algeria in 2010 World Cup. I remember that World Cup. I've got the 2010 World Cup game. And for a person to I'm a big fan, because know a fair bit. It should be toward the start. No, FIFA. Where is it? Where is that game actually? Oh, there it is. Oops, it is. Also. 1 to 7 players. Conditions still like new. Even the booklet where I take it out is always very carefully. Make sure no creases on either side. Don't have to worry about that now. You don't get booklets anymore. No scratches. Oh yeah. And what I've got is what I used to do. I'll still do if I came across a newspaper. If I like the Metro newspaper, if there was a review about the article, I'd cut it out and put it in there. So 2010 FIFA World Cup South Africa 4 out of 5. Yo, also available on PS3 and Wii, $39.99. PSP's 25 quid, 24.99. 360 is $49.99. Apparently PS3 is £10 cheaper than free. Jesus, 50 quid back then. Like 40s. And then you look at PS5 games now on Xbox Series X games, 70 quid. Jesus Christ. I was a big fan of Steven Gerrard. Oh yeah, I remember him. I remember him indeed. Dawood Brahim, there was a few good press to get into game dev. If you could share it for Dawood, that'd be great. Another one good one is the awesome list. If you like go awesome game development or awesome C++, if you Google that, you get loads of resources. I mean, like the awesome list, when I came across it a few years ago, I was like, yo, this is so good. It's both pretty awesome. So falling off my short thing. Well, let's deal with these. Awesome game dev. So which one's bigger? So we check all this. If you check out the awesome list in general, but okay, so let's go and test this out. So it's AZM plus. Enter obviously works. S doesn't work because it shouldn't do. Okay, so that's all good. to remove that. And really that's it. So we got to do multiple mouse keys now. Multiple mouse keys. I can't see that. No, we already have it actually. Do we? I was adding a button or a mouse button. That's calm. Okay, so for copy all these, cool link, check it now. Yeah, if you've never come across the awesome list before, like just have a topic and Google awesome space then the topic. So awesome space C++. I won't say space anymore. Awesome video recording. I bet you. I mean, I bet that comes up as well. Awesome video recording list. I guess that doesn't. If you type in GitHub after, there you go. See what we got. Video resources. Yeah, so just type in video after. It's pretty darn cool. So it's like the game dev. If we have a look, what's actually in here? Like there's different ones that different people have created. So if we got C++, here you go. Different, I guess these are game engines or games. They're games. Mostly more than this have been created, but I think these will probably be open source stuff. So you can just literally access this stuff and have a look at it. Can be a bit overwhelming. Just take your time with it. Well, that's a list. I know, right? Like if you look at the actual awesome list, this is something like, if you think that's good, wait till you actually check out the real OG awesome list. The real OG awesome list is this. So if you go to like programming languages and find C, C++, and then we're in just literally the C++ section. It's so cool. I mean, you can spend a fair bit of time, procrastinate. Holy hell, that's a list. You can, like I say, you can spend a bit of time and procrastinate very easily on just the awesome list stuff. Probably not the worst thing to procrastinate on, but you can easily do it. I'll link it here. So there you go, you can check that out. I can't remember how I came across it a few years ago. Can't remember how. I might have just seen an article about it. Add a valid mouse button to trigger to click the buttons. Very deep. I was gonna say very deep rabbit hole. Very deep rabbit hole. Oh, for sure. Like the C++ one alone, or game dev can, but that awesome list one, because there's science on there. I think there's literature. Like you could just really go crazy on it. But if you focus on it and really harness it, something that really should properly do, then you can. It's pretty crazy. Bring coffee. You're gonna need a caffeine drip in going right into you. Forget the coffee, you just need the caffeine directly inside. One can nerd out for days. Days? If you had so much day, you probably could nerd out for a lifetime. Ooh, well said, thank you. Neku says hi. Hello, Neku. How are you? Okay, so go the valid mouse. What game do you really want to play, whether on PC or console now? Do you really want to play? Ooh. One game that came to mind was Lego Skywalker Collection or Edition, whatever it's called, Lego Star Wars. It's been delayed so long. I feel like it was meant to come out in 2019 initially. I feel like it's been delayed so much. That I want to play. What was the one? Halo 5? No, Halo 5. Halo Infinite. Halo 5 was already out. I wouldn't mind seeing Cyberpunk 2077 PS5 remaster. I mean, not remaster, upgrade. I'll wait for that and then I'll get it. Those are games I've got that I haven't played yet or I'm in the middle of. There's games that I haven't bought yet but really want to play. I want a new Half-Life. There's been no announcement, but there's Half-Life Alyx. The reception was very positive for a VR game, and they've pretty much said they're working on it. They are looking at more Half-Life stuff. So positive signs. What about you? What game do you really want to play? Cause on console, cause I've got a PS5. I've got a Series X PS5 and a game on PC as well. On the PS5, that's the main console I'll play on. I mean, really, there's no major game that's coming out. I'm like, yo, I can't wait for that. It's coming out in 3 months. I can't wait. You got Ratchet and Clank in. Is it next month? I feel like it's June. Ratchet and Clank. Rift Apart. Is it a sequel? Follows on from Into the Nexus. Took the long way around. June 11th, so a month and a week, so about 5.5 weeks. Battlefield 6, can't wait for it. I love Battlefield, pre-Battlefield 3, pre this sort of console Battlefield. Okay, technically, obviously Bad Company 1 and 2 was on console, which is what I've actually got it on. Got it on, Origin since. I think they got it as some bundle, I think I got it for free. But like Bad Company 1 and 2 was alright, but like the OG ones, Battlefield 1, 2, 1942, Battlefield 2142. Oh my god, those games. Especially Battlefield 2 and 2142. I mean, I used to love playing skirmish in those games. Mousy. Make sure that's what. Are you streaming every day at this time? For the most part, yeah. Pretty much every day, and time-wise for game engine, it's around about this time. In terms of UK time, it's between, I'd say, 4 and 6 p.m. Round about that sort of time, yeah, 4 to 6 p.m. So yeah, hit us up. Usually earlier in the day, I'll do a gameplay live stream. Today with Crash Bandicoot, still going to be continuing with that tomorrow as well. And yeah, and obviously just general other videos throughout the day. Created a video early on just me unboxing my storage expansion, the NVMe, external NVMe for Xbox Series X, and just plugging that in and just showing that. I was like, might as well. You know, if I bought it just for myself, I was like, might as well. Ooh. Underscore. We don't actually have the keys yet. We will in a second. I'll finish this off and then I'll wrap up for today. Valid. Nice. Click. Buttons. What time is it there in UK? It is 11 p.m. 11 minutes past 7. So almost quarter past 10. Quarter past 7 in the evening. And let me go to here. I'm gonna go and preheat the oven because we're gonna go and have some food after. Back momentarily. So it's same for me here. Where was he based again? Would you say he was in Algeria? Same time? 7 p.m.? In Poland, it's 8 p.m. Go check it. Ah, fair enough. Go check it. Is it? Nigerian time. God damn. It is the same. Where is Algeria on the map anyway? Oh yeah, cause was it the equator line? Was the equator that way? Oh yeah, because it is literally in line with it. So Morocco is probably about to say maybe an hour one way. Spain is probably going to be yeah. That's pretty cool. That is. People in Algeria could do the. Do you know the song? Post it. I'll see if I know it. If it's Algerian, then how do they know? If it's not Algerian, then it's possible. Okay, underscore. Valid mouse click buttons dot empty. So remove. Let's grab this. Put that here. We'll grab button. And we'll go grab this as well. That should produce a bunch more errors. That's fine. I'll copy this and I'll fix them all. Okay, so next is get valid mouse click buttons. Return underscore valid mouse click buttons and add the buttons. I'll go do a quick check. Add valid. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so the last thing I've got to do is actually when we do the mouse click, it's not these states, it's here. So we're going to do something similar to this. This is going to be button underscore valid mouse click buttons button equals event.key code. Yes, and we'll literally grab this. I guess so. That should be all good now. Let me try this. Okay, so only actually because I haven't added the default one yet. Sort that out in a second. Okay, I feel like I might know what the thing might be. You need to propagate down to the actual buttons themselves. Because the clicked event will never get triggered, will it? Underscore valid dot pushback. Let me at least do this before I forget. I'll fix this up tomorrow. Build. Okay, so we're gonna say fixed. Please repeat which game engine you are working with. I'm not working with a particular game engine, I'm making a game engine. So I'm using SFML, which is a game framework that allows you to do some basic drawing and input, output, audio, and like Windows stuff. It's kind of like STL, just a little higher level than that. And I'm making my own game engine on top of it. Always having this BS again. So much BS. Documents. And let's sort this out. So if I copy that, back it up over to here. Okay, so now that we got this backed up, it's saying, what's it moaning about? Okay, so let's certain files. I'm just going to delete them. I've got them backed up anyway now. So documents, GitHub, project XYZ. Now we go into code, project XYZ, platforms, Windows, debug. SFML template. That's pretty big, so it's that one. You can remove that. Refresh, that's gone. Okay, so commit to master seems okay. Well, that does that. I said okay, cool, no problemo. I'll be wrapping up in a second. I'm literally just wrapping things up. So tomorrow will be part 127. Oh yeah, push origin and ability to and what will issue? Buttons need to be proper. That's how you spell propagated. I'll check in a second. Propagated down to mouse buttons, down to individual Thank you very much. It was a nice chat meeting you, and I hope to see the final result of the project very soon. It's going to take a while, but I hope to have you as part of the journey. And remember, it's all free, it's all open source, pretty much like most of the other content I create out there. So I hope you enjoy. That is how you spell propagated. Should be committed now. Bad boy is committed. Save that, and don't need to commit that little thing, and that's it. So give it a build, make sure it's all good. Thanks for watching. I will see everyone tomorrow for another Game Engine live stream around about 4 to 6 p.m. UK time, and earlier on in the day, around about lunchtime, late morning, will be a Crash Bandicoot live stream, and we'll be collecting some gems. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon. It's gonna go and